and today is going to be my first day after being a brewer of extract exclusively for 5 years. My first day of attempting whole grain. So don't need stock pot in the cooker anymore. I have a kettle, a mash tun. Wish me luck.
A nice day for balcony brewing, I think you'll agree. So, welcome to my home brewery. A kettle, a mash tun, a coffee table and a deck chair on the balcony. What more than you? So, this episode will feature some of the original audio of the day and my director's commentary to fill in the gaps, because waiting for water to boil in silence is boring. Believe me, I was there. I cheated and helped it along with some water boiled in the kitchen kettle. Brewing and Radio 4, a perfect couple.
We have a much better idea of what's going on in the economy than we ever did before.
So Nigeria's GDP is almost double what we thought it was. But why does it matter? More than the urban again.
With the new numbers and all these kinds of discussion.
So here what I was doing, I was filling the mash tun with approximately 10 litres of water at 75 degrees Celsius. I don't know if this was necessary or not, but I put the lid back on the mash tun for 5 minutes so the entire mash tun was heated. Kind of like scalding the pot before making a cup of tea, that sort of thing. I then grabbed my mash kit, which was the Irish Stout kit from the Homebrew Company, while enjoying some Punt and Dennis on the Now show.
What about branch shafts? So the next one, how far is it?
See, they're all at it. Still, you give at least within one British workers, right?
I added about half of the grain and checked the temperature. 60 degrees, so slightly too cold. The wind was picking up a bit as I quickly boiled the kettle in the kitchen. 2 litres of hot water added to the mash.
British Council, who organised a survey to find out UK's greatest...
It comes in very handy when your goats and wheat gets muddled up.
So, thank you very much for those, and it's taken 400 years to go on with them, but they were well worth it. And thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Broadly speaking, this weekend will be a mixture of
72 degrees, so time to add the rest of the grain.
heavy showers. Low pressure is driving our weather. Quite blustery winds around it today. It's centred just to the southwest of the United Kingdom. And really through the rest of the day, it's southwest England, Wales and West Midlands that will see the bulk of the showers. Quite frequent showers coming in bands, actually. They will be heavy. There may well be some thunder mixed in there as well. And there'll certainly be some blustery winds. Could be touching gale force along the south coast of Devon and Cornwall through the rest of the day. As you head further east and southern parts of
This time the temperature came to 68 degrees, which means I'm ready to go.
it's mainly going to be affecting more the eastern side of Scotland. We'll continue to see a bit of sunshine on the very first.
It was 1 PM exactly when I started the mash timer, so after about an hour or so of reading comics, I checked the temperature, which has now dropped to 67 degrees. So I added 7 litres of water at 80 degrees and allowed this to stand for 15 minutes. I believe those black floaty things in the kettle were a few grains of roasted barley. We won't ask questions. Beer turned out fine. After the 15-minute stand, I lifted back up to the top of the coffee table and it was looking well. Some draining and circulating. At this point, the work was looking, smelling and tasting good. Still a good flow from the tap at this point, so I filled the kettle to just above the elements and I switched it on. I was hoping to get a rolling boil going that would keep going as I refilled it to the top. About halfway there, the flow slowed to a trickle, while at this point the wort was already boiling. So I switched off the electricity until I collected around 25 litres. Well, the weather is taking a bit of a turn for the worse, but I think the boil's about to take off. It could be the wind, but fingers crossed.
My children keep asking me about the author of the famous Little
I added my first and for this beer only hop addition and started the boil timer at exactly 4:10 in the afternoon. Little depressing to think this was 5 hours after the brew day began.
How could I forget? Wasn't a teacher then.
Not the most vigorous I've ever seen, but I think this is boiling. So from the rolling boil, it was pretty much the same as an extract brew day from here on in, except in my case, it's my first time boiling the whole batch at once. No more 12-litre boils topped up with water for me. Enough Radio 4 for me. Spotify's best 90 mix will have to see me through to the end. 10 minutes to go and I add the Whirlflock tablet. Don't know why I bother with Whirlflock. I should just wander down to Dollymount Strand and gather some fresh Irish moss. Five minutes left in the boil, so I set up the chiller. Just a simple copper coil connected to water from the tap. And with that, the boil is done. Enjoying a ham and cheese sandwich for myself while making sure all the outflow from the chiller goes into spare fermenting buckets. Can't really let it flow off the balcony down to the apartment below, can I? Oh, the joys of brewing in an apartment. Seriously, I must be the only apartment dweller in the world who owns a garden hose. At this point my thermometer read 25 degrees, so I thought I was done. Creating a whirlpool. And at exactly 6 PM I drained a lot into the fermenter. Approx 22 litres, so slightly less boiled off than I expected. At this point I noticed that steam was rising from the wort, kind of unexpected. And yeah, my thermometer was broken. So I held off pitching the yeast for a few hours until the temp was down to 21 degrees. Not quite a no-chill batch, shall we say a partial chill batch? If I just invented something new? Target OG 1.046, actual OG 1.044. Not too shabby. I guess I can say I'm officially an all-grain brewer now.